What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Mr. T here, and we have Uril 2.0. So, I was thinking about not making this video, but decided against it. I am going to try and make it quick though, because we already did review Uril, the Miststalker. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link that below. You can check it out. People are still watching it and commenting to win that deck. But anyways, I'm not going to go through the lands. I just wanted to show off the beautiful Infinity lands on top. Like, oh my gosh, these things are freaking gorgeous and pricey. So there's 3 mountains in there. I'll set those off to the side. I hope everybody's familiar with Uril at this point. If you're not, you're seeing this for the first time. Hexproof, 2/2 for each aura attached to it. He is red, green, white, and 2. Good commander. I'm not going to spend too much time on some of the cards that may have seen in the other video, but I ended up deciding to do this video simply for the fact that I did come across a bunch of different cards. I also came across some cards that I wanted to include in the first deck, so I wanted to showcase some of those here. And since it is a different build, you guys can see different options, and you guys can also get to see a little bit of the process, what ends up between different decks, because I have so many cards. There's so many different ways that I can build different decks, because it's completely random which cards I'm going to come to first, and if I see synergy, I'm usually going to include it in the deck. So starting off with the first heroic games, 2 and a green, it is a Saga enchantment. Fantastic. We're playing a lot of enchantments, so it is going to matter. It's going to create a 1/1 human on its first turn, and it's going to get 3+1/+1 counters. I mean, we don't even care where those go. Hopefully Uril's out and we can put him on him. But then we should always, especially if Uril's out, he's a 5/5. We should always have a creature with power 4 or greater. So we're going to get that 2 card draw. There's just so much value in this card as an enchantment. And then you're also going to get a gold, which is going to sacrifice for a mana. Alright, I love this one. It's such a good card. I believe this is a list reprint. That should be Gatecrash, if I'm not mistaken. Older set, one of the older, like, first guild ones. So anyways, assemble the legions. 2 a red, a white, and 3. So at the beginning of your upkeep, you put a muster counter on it, and then you put one red and white soldier creature token with haste for each muster counter on it. I mean, one of the things that Kevin, who requested the deck, was saying was that the current Uril, so he plays Uril, he just doesn't have a lot of the deck mechanics that I spoke about, and he's getting trashed by the exact same decks that I built my first Uril deck, and even said, I was like, dude, these are the decks that are going to give you the hardest problem, and you have to have some answers to that. One of those things was the sacrifice decks. He can't put enough creatures onto the board. He's too focused on Uril. So that Assembled Legions, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be nasty. Anyways, Hydra's Growth. This thing is disgusting. I remember when this thing first came out. Oh my gosh. I can't remember the price on this. I should have looked it up. It was pretty good for an uncommon. This was a few dollars. But anyways, you're going to enchant your creature. It's great. It's an aura. And you're going to put a +1/+1 counter on it when it comes to the battlefield. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, you're going to double the number of +1s on it. That is disgusting, especially because Uril has hexproof. If you can defend him from sacrifice, he's so hard to get rid of. Oh my gosh, that is going to be gross. Kami of Transience. This is a good one from Kamigawa. I pulled a ton from Kamigawa because there are so many good ones from the last 2-3 years around enchantment. And this was definitely, I mean, this saw tons of play in Standard and was one of the top decks for quite a while. Basically, he's going to get a +1/+1 whenever you cast an enchantment, and then if he's in the graveyard and an enchantment goes to the graveyard, you can return him to your hand and replay him. So recurrence, that gives card advantage. I believe we reviewed Restoration of Janjo in the last one, but this is a great token generator when you flip him. Just a really good enchantment card. And you're going to get double enchantment drop. So ETB, because it is going to get exiled and then come back into the battlefield. That's fantastic. You're going to get a second ETB on that. Light Pause Emperor Voice. Such a good card. The synergy for this, Whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control, if you cast it, you may search your library for an aura card with mana value less than or equal to that aura, and with a different name or playing commander. All the cards are different, so you're going to put that card into the battlefield attached, unfortunately, to Lightpaw's Emperor Voice. However, I mean, it's just card advantage, and it gives you another creature that's probably going to end up being pretty big. Kamiya Celebration. Whenever a modified creature you control attacks, you can exile the top card of your library, and you may play that card this turn, and then whenever you cast a spell from exile, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. We're not really going to be using that second ability too much. However, the first one is a great way to basically go look at the top card, because, I mean, all of our creatures are going to be modified by enchantment, by artifact, etc. Leyline Immersion. Oh my goodness. This is a deadly card and can be a very deadly card in this deck. I don't think I have the combo piece in here for you, but there is a combo piece. Basically, what you want to do is you're going to enchant a legendary creature, and it's going to have Ward 2. All right. And then that creature can tap for 5 mana in any combination of colors, and you can spend that mana only to cast spells. What you want to do, there's plenty, I think there's a few options that are going to do it, is you're going to find a card that untaps target creature for a cost of less than 5 mana, and you're going to go infinite mana. Now in a deck like this, especially if you get the right cards, you could just go ahead and draw your whole deck and win the game. Alright, Danitha, Nubenalia's Light. Vigilance, Trample, Lifelink. Once during each of your turns, you may cast an aura or equipment spell from your graveyard. Fantastic card for this deck. Graveyard Recursion, it's got Vigilance, it's got Lifelink. I mean, this is fantastic. Such a good card. Kalos Command, you guys know about this one already. We're looking for that double strike. Forge Anew, another good high synergy card here. This is one that I mentioned should be added into the deck. I just couldn't find one when I built the first one, but you may pay 0 rather than pay the equip cost of the first equip ability you activate during each of your turns, and then when it enters battlefield, you return an equipment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Fantastic for moving around your equipments, especially, let's see, I don't think we were too equipment heavy in this build, but there are some really wonky equipments that you may want to add in. If not, totally cool, you can swap out Forge Anew for something else. No, this one was not heavy on the equipments. I went straight auras and enchantments. But you do have that card now, so you can swap that out to another deck. It is a freaking sweet card. It is an enchantment, so you're going to get that ETB on the enchantment enter, and it is going to let you recur some of those equipments that you may want to add into the deck, depending on what changes you make that are going to give you flexibility. Alright, the camera will refocus here. Let's go, camera. Anyways, this is Glory. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Nope, lost it. It's back. There we go. Alright, so Glory. Basically, we want to get this thing into our graveyard. You're going to choose a color. Creatures you control gain protection from the chosen color until end of turn. Activate only if Glory is in your graveyard. That's just going to open up so many avenues for us. You can attack any player that you want with no regards, and it can also help you with protecting things if they do single target to destroy anything. That's a creature. One with the Kami. Flash. It's enchant creature you control. Whenever a enchanted creature or another modified creature you control dies, aka all of your creatures should be modified, you're going to create X 1/1 colorless spirit creature tokens, where X is that creature's power. I mean, that's fantastic token generator right there. Oh, this is a good one right here. This is one that we needed in the other one. This is the Harvest Hand. So whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you gain 1 life and draw a card. If you go infinite mana and you just keep casting enchantments, you can just draw your whole deck. Port Razor. Alright. Whenever Port Razor deals combat damage to a player, untap each creature you control after the combat phase or is an additional combat phase, and then you can't attack a player that has already been attacked this turn. If you're playing multiplayers in Commander, I mean, this is going to be sick because if you can make him unblockable, you could have what, 3 combats in one turn. So you attack player 1, you attack player 2, and you attack player 3. I mean, who doesn't want 3 combats in one turn every turn? It's just ridiculous. That is such a dangerous card. I should note at this point, I'm not sure if anything I've put into these decks is banned. I have not kept up with the ban list. I don't think so. If there is anything crazy in there and you guys are like, hey, I'm pretty sure that thing's banned, I mean, hey, who knows? Port Razor could be banned. That seems pretty friggin' busted to me. Anyway, still Seraph. We're just trying to get flying. Hajar, Loyal Bodyguard. So we're going to use him as a protection. So from a board wipe, you can sacrifice him in legendary creatures you control, get +1/+0, and gain indestructible until end of turn. And that's fantastic because a lot of the creatures that we did include are legendary. This is such a good one. I totally forgot about this card. Colossification, yes, for a massive 7-drop. But I mean, we do have some things in here that can reduce the cost of enchantments, so not that big of a deal. I mean, this is pretty much a game ender. 2020 on an enchanted creature, and that's instant lethal with your commander. Citizen Champion, fantastic card. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on him, and you draw a card. The deck's entirely enchantments. Since this was a purchase specific, I always try to include from my side stack of cards over $10, and this was one of them, Flare of Fortitude. So you may sacrifice a non-token white creature rather than play the spell's mana cost. Until the end of turn, your life total can't change, and permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible. I mean, come on, pro board wipe. Chisaro, the Shattered Blade. The synergy from Kamigawa, from, what are we looking at? So we're at Kamigawa, and then we have Theros Beyond Death. The enchantment synergy is absolutely insane from those two sets. So whenever an aura or equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you're going to create a 2/2 red spirit creature token with Menace. I mean, yeah, just good. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each modified creature you control. Oh my gosh, so we're just throwing out 1/1s on everything, every turn. Stang, Echo Warrior. Whenever he attacks, create Stang Twin, a legendary 3/4 warrior creature token, enters battlefield tapped and attacking. For each aura and equipment attached to Stang, create a token that's a copy of it attached to Stang. Sacrifice all tokens created this way at the beginning of the next end step. So just, I mean, every time a enchantment enters the battlefield, effects are going to get, I mean, even more deadly when he's on the field. So if you enchant him, it's just dumb. It's just dumb. Calyx, Guided by Fate. Alright, everybody should be familiar with this, but whenever he another one that dominated Standard for a moment, whenever Calyx, Guided by Fate, or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And then when he or another enchanted creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may create a token that's a copy of a non-legendary enchantment you control. You can only do this once per turn, but I mean, you put something stupid like Colossification out on the field, right? That's not legendary. Not legendary. I mean, if Colossification's out and you're just making copies of Colossification, then you're getting ETBs off of your enchantments coming into play. It's just sickening. Storm Herald. When he enters the battlefield, you can return any number of aura cards from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to creatures you control. So you're going to ETBs from all of those enchantment auras entering the battlefield, which is chef's kiss, because that you pretty much finish the game right there. So another game ender right there, especially if it's towards the late end. I love Last Chance. Take an extra turn after this one. You could just, you know, wipe up. Why not? Winds of Wrath, another card we spoke about during the first Uril creation. That was destroy all creatures that are enchanted. I mean, that's pretty much destroy all of the creatures except for your own. I love Lion Sash. This is a fantastic equipment. It's going to give +1/+1 for each 1/1 counter on Lion Sash, and you can basically use it to get rid of things on the spot from graveyards. So if you have anybody who's playing recursion, who's targeting graveyards, you can keep them from targeting graveyard permanents by just reacting to their move. Duelist Heritage. Whenever one or more creatures attacks, you may have target attacking creature gain double strike. I mean, it's stupid. It's an enchantment, gives double strike. Yeah, why not? Oh, look, come here, sir. Rampant Growth. God's Willing. Some spot protection. I mean, if you have one person playing mono, you can basically wipe the floor with that one person. Jukai Naturalist. Enchantment spells cost 1 less to cast. Historian Wisdom. Enters the battlefield. If enchanted permanent is a creature with the greatest power among creatures on the battlefield, you're going to draw a card. Fantastic. It's just going to give us more card draw. And it's an enchantment, so Uril is going to do great. Alright, Invigorating Hot Spring enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it, and then you modified creatures you control, so all of your creatures are going to end up being modified. If they're not, you can remove a 1/1 counter from the Hot Spring, and then put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control, essentially giving it 1/1 and haste. So it's pretty much spot Riot. It's got the benefits of Riot. You just get both. You get haste and a 1/1 counter. And then you can only activate this as a sorcery once per turn. Careful Cultivation. As long as the enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets +1/+3 and has reach and can tap to add 2 mana. So give you a little bit of ramp there if you need it, but you're also going to get some protection by getting that reach. I know sometimes it's a little hard. Not a whole lot of flying in here. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Alright, Renata. Call to the Hunt. This was the Multiverse Legends, the reprints. So equal to devotion. Power is equal to devotion in green. So if you have, that's going to count up all the green symbols in your creature cast costs. And then whenever a creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter on it. Again, everything's pretty much going to be modified. Rayov, Master Smith. Whenever a creature you control that's enchanted or equipped attacks, creature gets double strike. Dude, at this point we're at like quad strike. Eternal Witness. Fantastic card. Presence of Gone. Enchanted creature has tap, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. I mean, you have a few creatures in here that have vigilance. I would recommend putting it on them and then whack away. And before your next turn, tap that creature so that you get a 1/1. Alright, Burning Anger. Enchant creature has, this creature deals damage equal to its power to any target. So, I mean, if we throw Colossus, the classification on anything, and we use this, fantastic. If you have anything that untaps that creature, you get that infinite combo. I mean, you can just direct damage multiple times and just untap and then redo this and do it again and then again and then again. So yeah, and essentially you're probably going to have that on Uril, so you will have a massive Uril who's just direct damaging target player for, you know, like 80 damage, something stupid like that. You do that 3 times to finish the game. Alright, Cultivate, we got some ramp. Seal of Cleansing, you can sacrifice it, destroy target artifact or enchantment. It's great, it's an enchantment, you're going to get an ETB from it. It's not instant, unfortunately. That's okay though. We want the ETB from the, we want the draw off the ETB. Alright, when it enters the battlefield, choose a color. Enchanted creature has protection from the chosen colors. That's, yeah, and it has flash. It's a 2-drop. Freaking ridiculous. Ordeal of Nylea. Nelly? No. Okay. So, enchant creature. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Then if it has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, you're going to sacrifice this enchantment. And then when you sacrifice this enchantment, you get to go search for 2 basic lands. So you get +1s, you get ramp. I mean, this has the makings of a great aura card. Blacksmith Skill. Target permanent gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn if it's an artifact creature. I don't think there's any artifact creatures in here. Oh, there might be one. Maybe one. No? No artifact creatures. Okay, so we don't care about that. If it gets +2/+2. We want hexproof and indestructible. It's just going to be a spot save from some kind of wipe. Messenger speed. Enchanted creature has trample and haste. Unfortunately, this time around, I did not have a lot. I wasn't able to put a lot of cards in here that have trample, but totally okay. Your things are going to be so big, and there's going to be other ways to go around that. We give them flying. Exile target artifact, enchantment, or creature with power 4 or greater. Exercise. Just a little bit of spot removal. Alright, this is, so Kevin asked me to explain some things. This is going to be one of the things that a lot of people may not be familiar with, but bestow. So the part here being it becomes a creature again if it's not attached to a creature. So basically you attach this to something for its bestow cost. If you have anything that reduces the cost of a color, so if it reduces the cost of a white spell, that would also reduce its bestow cost. So if it's by 1, it would be 3 and a 1. If it reduces the cost of an enchantment, same thing, you're going to get those cost reductions from casting its bestow. Now, in addition to that, as it says, if that creature that it's attached to, so this is going to give a creature 2/2 and vigilance, it's going to act like an aura. If that creature is destroyed by a board wipe or it's single targeted, for whatever reason it gets killed, this then becomes a creature. So you will this will still be on the battlefield. So you'll have a creature out. So if somebody board wipes and you have 3 of these, because we do have 3, this one's going to give +2/+2 and first strike, and then this one's going to give reach and +2/+2. I mean, this is from, oh geez, way back. Geez, what set is that? I think that's the original Theros. Born of the Gods? No. One of those. One of the original Theros blocks. I don't remember what all the sets are from then. But it is from that era. So chosen by Heliod, enchant creature. You're gonna draw a card when there's battlefield. Great. We're gonna get an enchantment aura, and we're gonna get to draw a card. A lot more draw engine action in this deck, so that actually is probably gonna make it a little bit faster. The lack of trample might make it a little slower. I don't know. It'll be interesting. There's gonna be a lot of draw going on. All right, Reign of Truth, another great Kamigawa Saga. 1/1 for each artifact and enchantment on the battlefield. That's ridiculous. So your Uril's going to become massive, and then it's going to flip and come back, and you're going to have a creature that has +1 for each artifact and enchantment. Tamiyo Safekeeping, hexproof, indestructible. You're going to gain 2 life. Another fantastic protection. Angelic Intervention, target creature or planeswalker you control gains protection from your choice of colors or colorless, and then if it's a creature you put a +1/+1 counter on it. Fantastic. It's going to modify. Love the art on this card as well. It's just those angel wings, they're just so good. That foiling actually is really nice. Nice card right there. Sentinel's Eyes. This is recur, so it's going to get +1/+1 and vigilance. It's going to help with that combo for you, so you can whack somebody away and then pop off your combo, or you can just, if for some reason this gets to the graveyard, you can just recast it from your graveyard. All right, Citizen Training. So one of the ones that's going to give you trample. Creature's going to get +1/+0, has trample, and it also draws a card. I think this thing's just busted. Such a good one. Warbriar Blessing. Oh, did we tilt? There we go. Warbriar Blessing. So enchant creature you control, it's going to make it fight up to 1 target creature you don't control. It's going to get +0/+2. And then our last but not least, Karametra's Blessing, +2/+2 until end of turn. It's going to get or enchantment creature. If it's an enchanted creature or enchantment creature, it also gains hexproof and indestructible. So another thing to spot save. So any recommendations on the deck? I would say there is quite a bit of spot protection, so you might be able to just remove some of that and add in some trample enchantments would probably be the way to go. Forge Anew, if you don't or you can add in some key artifact equipment that you want to, and any of them you add in, they're going to become 0 equip. I do really like this card. is such a good card. I mean, come on, you pay 0 rather than pay the equip cost of the first equipment ability you activate during each of your turns. Some of those equip costs are like massive. So, other than that, that's the deck, guys. Wow, geez, 25 minutes. Man, Uril 2.0 is a monster. Should be a lot faster pace. Kevin, really appreciate you, man, for reaching out. This deck was $60 to build, and heck, I'm pretty sure, yeah, just in your freaking foil mountains right here, one of them being a galaxy foil. Can't get it to sparkle. Might be too dark in here. But anyways, one of them being the they're not cheap lands, and lands are beautiful. We'll flip through them here real quick just so everybody can see. The beautiful full art, the retro frame, Kamigawa lands. Oh, Rogue's Passage. Target creature is unblockable this turn. I mean, hey, Uril getting through. I promise you that. In this deck, Uril is getting through. Stirring Wildwood. I saw it and I was just like, oh man, I have to. Gotta put it in there. I haven't seen that. Needle Spires, same thing. I mean, Lair of the Hydra, though, that's kind of a fun one. Fortunate part being is that they do come in tap. But, Kevin, enjoy the deck, man. Should be on its way to you soon. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching. I do have... Ooh, I'm working on a very spicy deck. I actually have to look up to see. It's been a while. So, the next deck I'm working on, and it's almost done. Luris of the Dream Den. So this is going to be disgusting. This is going to be the next deck we're going to give away. I'll probably have it finished within the next few days. I'll post a video, and yeah, it's going to be good. You guys are. This is the table no longer likes you type of deck. Black white gets close to my colors. Orzhov, always been a fan. Oh, it's going to be good. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm already like, oh, evil. So enjoy your day, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all the support. And if there's any commanders that you're interested in, feel free to reach out. You never know what I might have on hand. Might be able to work out for you. It does support the channel. So I think I interrupted myself, but this was $60 for Kevin for this deck, and it is ready to play. It's ready to win some F&M. Till next time, guys.